A new Netflix docuseries about Sean Diddy Combs is making headlines for its never-before-seen footage of the music mogul in the days before his arrest. Now, Combs is threatening legal action against the streamer for airing the unauthorized footage. Behind the series is Combs' longtime rap rival 50 Cent and director Alexandria State.
We've reached a moment where the line between revenge and justice isn't just blurred, it's been erased with a sledgehammer. And the man holding that hammer, none other than Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, who just dropped a 4-part Netflix bomb titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning. A project that isn't just a documentary, but what insiders are calling a meticulously planned character assassination armed with Diddy's own private meltdown tapes recorded just 6 days before his arrest. This isn't speculation. This is footage of a man unraveling in real time, strategizing with his legal team, pleading for someone who has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business to save him, all while the walls of his empire crumble around him. And the most damning part, Diddy recorded every second of it himself.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day.
Perhaps.
What was he intending to use it for?
I have no idea what he used for.
We're talking about a man who for decades has cultivated an image of untouchable power. Luxury toasts, private jets, A-list entourages, only to have his own obsession with self-documentation become the noose around his neck. The tapes obtained by The Reckoning's production team and legally verified, according to Netflix, show Combs in a Harlem hotel room, frantic, disheveled, barking orders into the phone while his legal team scrambles to contain the fallout from a tidal wave of accusations. "We are losing," he snaps at one point, his voice cracking with a rare moment of vulnerability. "Somebody that will work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business of the media and propaganda." It's a stunning admission, one that suggests Combs knew his public relations war was already over before the first gavel even fell. And now, thanks to 50 Cent's involvement, that footage isn't just evidence. It's the centerpiece of a prime-time spectacle. But let's be clear, this isn't just about a fallen mogul's last-ditch panic. This is about a 2-decade feud finally reaching its nuclear conclusion. The rivalry between 50 and Diddy has always been personal, but the stakes have never been higher. Sources close to the production confirm that Jackson didn't just stumble upon this footage, he paid for it, leveraging connections deep within Combs' inner circle to secure tapes that Diddy himself had allegedly planned to monetize in his own tell-all project. The irony, Combs had been filming his life since he was 19, stockpiling hours of behind-the-scenes moments, likely intending to control his own narrative. Instead, 50 Cent beat him to the punch, turning that same archive into a weapon. And the timing couldn't be more brutal. Combs is currently serving a 50-month sentence in a low-security New Jersey facility, his legal appeals pending, while his accusers, dozens of them, continue to file lawsuits alleging everything from coercive behavior to systematic exploitation.
I think a lot of people thought that he was just joking around. It turns out he's not, so this is actually a real project that's being made under his G-Unit.
Now, here's where the story gets even messier. Because while Netflix insists this isn't a hit piece, Combs' legal team is screaming otherwise, firing off cease and desist letters and accusing the streamer of using stolen material. Their argument that the footage, including conversations with Combs' attorneys, was never meant for public consumption and was obtained through questionable means. Netflix, for their part, has doubled down with director Alexandria Stapleton stating they obtained the footage legally and moved to protect their Sourk's identity. But let's not pretend this is just about legality. This is about optics. And the optics are devastating. The documentary doesn't just rehash the allegations. It frames them as part of a pattern, a lifestyle built on power, manipulation, and an apparent belief that the rules didn't apply to him.
Out in front of this and tried to persuade Netflix not to come forward with it. I think it's an interesting argument because what they're claiming is, Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, has had a long-standing, animosity against Diddy and sort of vice versa. And because he's at the helm, they're arguing this can't be taken seriously. This should sort of be seen as propaganda. And one of the things that Netflix hit back with was, yes, he's the executive producer. He doesn't necessarily have creative control. And that's something
we can't ignore the family angle either. While Cole's twins and other relatives have stood by him publicly, even attending his trial in a show of solidarity, insiders claim the documentary has sent shockwaves through his inner circle. There are whispers, unconfirmed but persistent, that his children were visibly distressed after viewing early cuts of the film, particularly the segments detailing his pre-arrest meltdowns. Remember, these are the same kids who just months ago delivered emotional statements to the judge, pleading for leniency. Now they're forced to reconcile that image of their father with the one presented in The Reckoning. A man who, according to the footage, was more concerned with spinning the narrative than facing the consequences. And let's not forget the timing of this release. Just as Combs' legal team is prepping an appeal, just as new civil suits continue to emerge, just as the public's fascination with his downfall reaches a fever pitch. But here's the question that lingers. Is 50 Cent really doing this for the victims as he claims? Or is this the ultimate act of personal vengeance? The two have never been shy about their disdain for each other, but the document's release has reignited debates about motive. Jackson has publicly stated that if he stayed silent, it would seem like hip-hop condoned Combs' alleged behavior. Yet, skeptics point to a long history of bad blood. From Diddy's infamous shopping spree comment at Chris Lighty's wedding, which 50 has called a thinly veiled proposition, to the revelation that Diddy was involved with 50 ex-partner Daphne Joy, even allegedly paying her a monthly stipend tied to his infamous private gatherings. Then there's the leaked audio of Combs berating Joy for ignoring him, threatening to cut off her payments if she didn't get back to work. The implications are clear, and the timing of this documentary, right as Combs is locked up, unable to defend himself in real time, feels calculated.
To engage in all these freak-offs with him, and he sounds really pissed off.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know, you think you silent treating me, and you think I'm going to be, nah.
Meanwhile, the legal fallout is only escalating. Combs' team has already hinted at further action against Netflix, arguing that the use of his private footage, especially conversations with his lawyers, violates attorney-client privilege. But the streamer isn't backing down. In fact, they framed the documentary as a necessary reckoning. A chance to expose what they call a pattern of behavior that spans decades. And the evidence, it's not just the tapes. The series reportedly delves into everything from the 1996 Shakur homicide allegations, where former gang associate Keffi D claims Combs offered $1 million bounty, to the testimonies of women like Joy Dickerson-Neal, who alleges she was exploited and recorded without consent in the early 90s. Then there's the financial angle. Insiders claim Combs was moving millions overseas in the days before his arrest. A detail that, if true, could resurface in his ongoing RICO investigations. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of The Reckoning isn't what it shows. It's what it suggests is still hidden. Because if Coles was recording everything, what else is out there? The documentary hints at a trove of unreleased material, from his notorious private gatherings to his interactions with other high-profile figures who've since distanced themselves. And with 50 Cent now positioned as the architect of this takedown, the question isn't just about what we're seeing. It's about what he's choosing not to reveal. Because if this is a reckoning, it's far from over. The first domino has fallen. The tapes are out. The legal battles are just heating up. And somewhere in a prison cell, Sean Combs is watching his legacy unravel in real time, one explosive frame at a time. Now, let's pull back the curtain on why 50 Cent's documentary feels less like entertainment and more like a surgical strike. Because sources familiar with both camps insist this isn't just about exposing the truth. It's about settling a score so personal, so calculate.
So I think what Diddy was trying to say was, there's nothing to be done legally on the criminal front because no indictment had been dropped yet. But in the court of public opinion, it seemed like he wanted to take a more aggressive approach to put a certain message out there, and his attorney seemed.
The heart of the controversy lies in those pre-arrest recordings where Combs is heard strategizing with his lawyer Mark Agnifilo about countering the mounting accusations. "We have to find somebody that'll work with us," he urges, his tone shifting between defiance and desperation. "It has to be somebody that is dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business." Netflix stands by the legality of the footage, but Combs' team calls it stolen, a violation of privacy so egregious they're threatening legal action. Yet, the question lingers, if these tapes were meant for Combs' own documentary, why did he never secure them? Was it arrogance, assuming no one would dare use them against him? Or was it something darker, a belief that his influence still stretched far enough to bury anything damaging? Either way, the irony is brutal. The man who built an empire on image control now has his most vulnerable moments splashed across Netflix, with 50 Cent as the executive producer pulling the strings. And then there's the money. Because this isn't just about revenge, it's about power and who gets to wield it. Rumors swirl that Combs was moving assets overseas in the days before his arrest, a detail the documentary hints at but doesn't fully explore. If true, it could tie into the broader RICO investigation that nearly took him down completely. Remember, Call was acquitted of racketeering charges, but prosecutors painted a picture of a man who operated like a kingpin surrounded by loyalists who allegedly helped facilitate his lifestyle. The documentary reportedly digs into these financial maneuvers, suggesting that the tapes might be just the tip of the iceberg. One former associate speaking on condition of anonymity claims Combs had a network of people ready to handle problems, whether that meant silencing accusers or greasing palms. And if the FBI is still digging, as some insiders suggest, those tapes could be the domino that sets off another round of indictments.